Not bad. We're straight and square and plumb. I just gotta grind down some. No, don't check it.
Oh,
they
okay.
can't tell how crooked it is. Jeez, Jordan, come on. That thing moves.
About killed you, morning.
One last step.
At least it's not at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, the last time we did this, we finished at 2 in the morning. It was a horrible event. But concaves. We're gonna be trying out a new brand of concaves this season on Brody's machine. I'm still running the Estes, and we're gonna be trying out Bushel Plus. So these 3 concaves need to come out. These are round bar, factory from Deere. These bolts need to come out. And while they're working on that, yell at me when you need help.
Help. Take them out so we can put the new ones in.
Me and Jordan are going to be working on the Johnson blade, fabricating. Upgrades.
We're going to pinch our fingers over here. You'll hear yelling.
Okay.
It's the shortest piece I could find.
Just a 4-footer. So to make this thing automated, it's thundering again. This thing is where we put our laser mast on. If you watched any of the Ben building process, this valve is what automates the whole system via laser. So you put a box in the cab, a receiver on here, and run continuous flow to this, and the box in the cab controls the height of the blade. And I want this to be able to be used on our little box scraper along with our big Johnson here. So we've got to fabricate up. We actually did that on our box scraper. They're making noise, but basically we have to weld this pipe on so that you can just put a pin on, take it from machine to machine, just cut a few zip ties, and should be interchangeable between both machines. Which is gonna be sweet.
Yes.
Because if we want to do any ditch work with it, we'll be able to use it for ditching or making big pads if we ever so want to. But we need some Johnson paint.
Yes, we do.
So to match the box scraper for length of hoses, need it to be somewhere between around 90 inches from center of hitch pin hole. This is about 93 inches, so I think we're thinking of just
Welding on the top.
welding it on here. Then it's removable if we ever want to, and we don't have to worry about screwing up the brand new paint job. Are we gonna get struck?
That should work. Until it
Cracks
rattles and breaks and
Now it's pouring. It's cats and dogs. Jeepers, it's coming right in. Look at the weather guy.
I know he's scared, I think.
What's going on, Brody?
I'm supposed to paint
Are you
my
scared?
house today. Well, no, I was getting wet.
Oh, here she comes. She's letting loose.
I think we're in a massive tornado.
Whatever. Because it's not windy at all.
Spiraling over there, we're in the eye of the storm.
Those raindrops are the size of quarters. This project might be easier than I was thinking it's going to be. We're just going to do that. We can still bolt and unbolt it from down in there. Just make it irritating enough not to get it started when you're already irritated that a hydraulic hose is blown. But it should be fine. It should be fine. So when we made this bracket, expecting to do this to this machine earlier, shortly after we got this, we mounted this onto this plate and changed a bunch of stuff on our box scraper. We just found this plate, and the hole is not drilled at all in the center. Why? I have no idea, but now we have to drill our hole not in the center in that thing. Anyone else notice how quiet this machine has become? I put a new belt on it, and it actually drills with power now.
I'm sure you could have got a few more years out of the old one. It's only from the 90s again.
Am I out of stroke, Jordan?
I think so.
Just like that. What was that, Dougo?
You see there, I didn't hear you stopping it, reversing it, and banging and squealing.
Just imagine if that would have been replaced. I wouldn't have hated this machine so bad. All it needed was a little bit of love and care. Well, the bolt's gonna break off before that breaks. So now we gotta wait for paint to dry.
Yep.
For our project. I'm sure there's an easier way.
No, why don't you let us know what it is?
I don't know.
Are we doing something wrong, Chad?
Oh man, it's been 4 years since we did this.
YouTube videos make it look so easy.
Not this one. Lift it up and back. Okay. Okay, this is the heavy one.
Here, I'll just support this. Oh yeah.
Like how heavy?
Oh, heavier. Look at, we're both laboring and he just walks away like there's nothing in his arms. Okay, all 3 concaves out. So the concaves you can buy or have multiple different ones. Wheat takes a special one. There's tons of aftermarket ones out there. We've ran Estes in mine for multiple years. And I don't have anything bad to say about them, but Bushel Plus wants us to run them, I guess, 0 pods in the tank. That sounds excellent to me, so we're gonna try them out and we're gonna compare through the season. What's worse yet is my combine, if we do end up trading, we get to pull them all out of that one and put the factory back in.
I'll be gone that day.
You'll be gone that day? How come I'm the only guy sweating?
Did you wear a sweatshirt?
Yeah, it's time to lose the sweaty. The sweaty has got to leave. You soiled yourself again.
That happens usually.
So, for those that don't know how a combine works, this is the rotor. That's where all the product comes through. This is where the threshing happens at. So this thing spins. I believe he's spinning it. Yes, that's reverse. So those spin, and basically the crop moves through this, and the corn, soybeans, whatever crop you're harvesting falls down into the shoe augers. So you can put different, more or less what, the concave is the threshing element. So you can put anything you want in there basically for different crops. That is a round bar, so mostly for corn and soybeans. While we're waiting for concaves there, that brings me to my second dilemma. So here's our Trimble control box that controls that hydraulic valve and talks to the receiver for the laser and all that. We gotta figure out a clean way of mounting it in here. Unfortunately, different tractors, so this ain't gonna stay in here all the time. This, if we are ever putting it back on the box scraper, has to go in the 6420. Unless we decide to use this tractor, but odds are it's gonna get swapped. But so I want it somewhere I can easily install, remove, do different things like that. This box may have to go underneath. This may have to get relocated. It's only stupid. Look at this design. let's have all our plugins go where you need the bracket to be bolted on. So this might actually work pretty good. This can kind of go wherever on this bracket. It's zip tied on. This doesn't have the best way of mounting, so that can be easily moved. This can be easily moved. We'll see what I can come up with here. Okay, I made a decision. I think I'm going to take that bolt out, maybe cut this a little bit more square, weld that onto there so I don't have this bolt head to deal with, and then we should be able to zip tie and mount. You know what would really be slick? Coming down with a flat piece of steel here, and then I can bolt this on instead of mess around with zip ties. The fabbing department is really busy today. You getting sunburned? All right, I took and I cut this straight so I can weld a flat piece of steel on. I'm not ready. I'm not as prepared as you are.
You're in my working area now. You're welding the cable.
What? No, I'm not.
It's 3 inches, so it's 1.5.
Not bad. We're straight and square and plumb. I just gotta grind down some. No, don't check it.
Oh,
they
okay.
can't tell how crooked it is. Jeez, Jordan, come on. That thing moves. I can't believe how fast that thing goes. They're testing it to make sure they just got the remote wired up and make sure that when it jumps I-beam seams that there's no binding or anything.
I can see that we need to weld up some sort of a chair and give rides.
Oh wow, that sounds like a OSHA
Another
violation. You want to tell them how many Instagram things that you've gotten about our trench that we were working in?
I don't usually get more than maybe 20 comments a day, and this elevated it to maybe 60. Not saying that we didn't deserve it, but yeah, if
People didn't like us working in that deep trench.
no, and none of us liked it neither, and I don't know. I'm sure we'd have a different attitude if something bad happened, and we don't do that often. So, up down is the
Yep.
hoist.
And then everything else is directional.
Yep, and if you press it, you'll feel like one click. If you press it farther, you'll feel it click again. And the second click is the 2-speed.
And
Okay,
that only
That
works
only
on the
works
bridge.
on the bridge, so that'd be your north
so
side.
I can go west.
Yep. That's
I'm
just
surprised.
one
What do
speed.
they got? Buttons or little stickers that say east-west or north-south? How, or is that the way the remote comes?
Well, that's the way the remote comes, but then I just wire it to match north, south, east, west. I can change directions, I can flip-flop, I can do. So like with that, you'll feel the 2-speed, you'll push it a little bit, and then if you push it all the way down, is when it'll go faster.
What do you think of my fab work here, boys?
It's great. I mean, you didn't get very far because you took all the tools.
We need 2 welders, we need 2 vices.
What's
we
that
need
right there?
2. Don't look close.
What's that bubble?
I don't know what that is. I seen it and I thought about filling it, but I didn't. That's gonna get stuck.
Let's hold them.
See, no, it just rained 1.5 inches. Oh, he's good.
Well, you got the back wheels on you.
Okay, since I have more time now than I did when the blade showed up to actually do this right, so that bracket's gonna go there. I'm believing that my control system for what we're trying to install on there will fit above this. Now I have no hands. And this is going to go right on the front of there. I'd show you, but the cords aren't long enough. It's really distracting getting anything done when there's such cool things happening.
What else can we lift?
How much weight is that?
That's 6,000 pounds. That's 100% of it right now.
6,000 pounds. So that's max lift.
That's what it's rated for. Usually we'll either test it to 100,000 or 100% or 125% depending on the application. This is 100%. So.
And it's doing it no problem.
Oh yeah.
All right, I've got everything assembled and I'm still not pleased with it. I've made this so I can self-tap screw this box on so we actually have something better than zip ties holding it on. It is doable, it sits pretty crooked, but just because the way this all plugs in, I could build another bracket up to hold this up more, but it's still... If it was in a tractor that I used every day, I'd probably do something nicer with it, but this comes in and out quite frequently, so I think as of now I'm going to tighten these up and it's going to be what it's going to be, just like this, because we never even permanently wire the or zip tie these up decent, because 2 of these 3 wires go with the implement itself, so it's better than it was. Still not excellent. I was thinking about hanging this below there, but then it covers up all my buttons here, which is how it is in the 6420, and I hated that, or we hate that, so. Okay, I think in-cab install is going to be complete at that. It's not terribly, I mean, you still can run all the functions excellent. I got it wired up, so we've got power, raise, lower, you can go to auto, so then it would take over itself if you're on grade or close to grade. Not bad. It'll work. It'll work. So I've pretty much got this all wrapped up. This is the valve that's going to control it. That's what it looks like all mounted up. We can quickly, easily remove this. I do have it zip tied, but I've got it zip tied to itself mainly. So if we want to remove it, to put it back on the box scraper, pull the pin, basically cut 2 zip ties at the front end. All that will come with this. You have to cut maybe a half a dozen or dozen zip ties, because this is, there was no good way of not having it zip tied for the receiver. But as it sits right now, we could go use it. Excited. Hola! You ever get caught just talking to yourself, videoing yourself, and there's a guy just sitting right there and you don't even realize it? Really? Happens quite often here. To where we begun the day, the concaves. So basically, we have them in already. He taught us how to do this the easy way. And we ended up having to put one of the round bars back in because they do not replace the rear concave. They keep the round bar in there. And the coolest part about this is once you have their kit in, their frames, they call them the frames. You want to show them, Brody? See how that is open right now?
It was crazy.
So within, what, 5 minutes, you can swap your concaves completely out. So these are what we're going to be running for soybeans and corn. And say you were switching to wheat or what other concave you would want. You take 2 bolts out, this piece pops out, there's 4 of them. And just like that, you switch to wheat or whatever crop you want. But these are good for soybeans, black beans, corn. What's that corn that Farmer Dan farms? It's not corn. Milo, there we go. Canola is, that's up north. Yeah. So far, it's going pretty good having the help of a professional. He's giving the sales pitch. All right, so Chris just took off. We did a lot of work. A lot of work that actually was easier than I'm more familiar with putting concaves in and out. So basically, since these inserts are removable to level the concave becomes a lot easier because you don't have to take this apart to spin the rotor. You can just reach in there, you can see the spacing. We zeroed this, which was not at all from the factory zeroed. I suggest doing that whether you put concaves in or not, and leveling your concaves even if you're not putting aftermarket ones in, because ours were not at all level. So if you're wondering what the model of these are O-grates and split frames. So the split frames mean there's one of these O-grates in this side and the other side, hence the split frame. That makes sense. That's simple enough. And yeah, we're excited to try these out, see what they can do. We're going to be, obviously, as I said earlier in this video, running them against the Estes concaves. Now it will not be being ran against the brand new Estes ones. I think they're the 2nd gen or whatever. Regardless, we're going to see which one does better this fall and see which one can run harder. What I'm also interested in seeing is Bushel Plus swears up and down that we will not have pods in our tank with these. And that is a big issue that we've always had, no matter what concaves we've ran, whether it's factory, aftermarket, we always have pods, it seems like. So that'd be awesome. It'd save our bend wall a lot and a lot of not so fun work with the pods that cause issues later down the road. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Bushel Plus has never gotten to run against Estes, it sounds like, or the guy that was out here, and he's excited, so we'll see. Are you excited?
I am.
You want to tell them where they can find these guys?
Up in Canada? Or
I was going to say the link in the description.
yeah, you have to, you know, I don't even know where the link in the description is.
He says that all
Where
the time.
is that actually? Only on...
You have to YouTube it.
Yeah, but I think the link in the description is only on, it's not
Your
on
phones?
YouTube.
Yes.
You
You watch on your TV and I click a bunch of buttons, you'll find it.
The link in the... I'm going home tonight to look for it.
Good.
I
Catch
know.
up on the videos, by the way.
I should. I'm way behind again. Can't believe it.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, found some information out of it, and enjoyed it. You got something else to say?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
There will be no more videos, if this is true, of me cleaning out a bean bin because of the pods up against the wall.
He's
So,
the most excited about
That
this.
is the we're going to see. And I know where the guy lives if I still have...
I am not going to tell you. Me personally, I'm not going to tell you to, or that is going to happen. We're going to actually see it this fall. So, and so will you. So stay tuned, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.